video. It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Spotlight Sims in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM and what specific card you guys should choose for the Atlantic Central, Southeast, Northwest, Pacific, and Southwest Division captain specifically. Now, before we dive into that, I want to tell you guys and say, look, these are going to be my opinions, okay? And could I be wrong? Yes, 100% I could be wrong. Like earlier, somebody told me that a release was bad for a guy that I was really high on. Somebody told me DeAndre Hunter's release was really bad, and I was super high on it. So if that's the case, man, again, use Dell Curry or lock in for Wes Unseld instead. Another thing I'd recommend, take all these cards into shoot around. See exactly what they are working with before locking in for this pink diamond. So for example, I'd take all these cards into shoot around with them, and then it'd probably come down to Dillon Brooks, DFS, or Diamond Trevor Ariza. Obviously, I'll probably choose Trevor Ariza, but we'll decide that when it does come down to it. So we're going to be breaking them down one by one. Let's start here in the Atlantic Division. Jason Kidd, Tobias Harris, OG Anunoby, Tubby Walker, and Mitchell Robinson. Now, how I'd rank these cards, originally I think I went number 1, OG Anunoby, number 2, Tubby Walker, number 3, Tobias Harris, number 4, J Kidd, number 5, Mitchell Robinson. Right now, as it stands, I'd probably put Tobias Harris over Tubby Walker as far as the pink diamond to get. But I'm still telling y'all that OG Anunoby to me is the best option. Now again, that is me and my personal opinion, okay? Again, you guys can think whatever you want. But I really do believe OG Anunoby is the most complete option. People are telling me he's better than Pink Diamond Brown. I don't necessarily believe that, but he's probably the guy I would go with first. I just think his release is good, and as far as a complete player, he's up there. Tubby Walker is good at 6'9" if you want him at that power forward position. And honestly, Tobias Harris with his release is solid as well. It's just his dribble style I don't really love. So maybe how I'd go and how I'd rank them right now, probably OG 1, Tobias 2, Antoine, Tubby Walker 3, Jason Kidd 4, and Mitch Robinson 5. If you do want a good point guard, Jason Kidd's a solid defensive option, but we'll talk about better point guards later on in this video that I personally would choose. So for the Atlantic Division, I'd go OG Anunoby number 1, Tobias Harris number 2. For the Central Divisions, again, these are choice packs. Initially, I thought you'd get all of them. Choice pack, obviously, for the pink diamond. For the Central Division, here are your options. Bob Lanier, Myles Turner, Kirk Hinrich, Vin Baker, and Cedi Osman. Again, initially, I might have had, I don't remember, Kirk Hinrich, Vin Baker, I was pretty high on. Cedi Osman, obviously, is incredible. The guy, how I'd rank these right now, obviously Bob Lanier, I'd probably put at 5. Then it gets tough. Maybe Myles Turner 4, Vin Baker 3, Kirk Hinrich 2, Cedi Osman 1. It's just hard because I love Vin Baker because of his release. He has that Sharif release on quick. And again, as far as this pink diamond is concerned, when we look at it, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. His release is incredible. His stats are incredible. He's 6'10", can do basically everything on the court for you. I love Vin Baker in general. The problem is Kirk Hinrich is really good as well. 6'4", 91 3-ball, great ball handle, great defensively. Just a really solid overall card that can hold it down for you. But Cedi Osman, this is a card that since people have gotten him, have said this card is absolutely elite. And I just think he's too good to pass up on. 49 base badges, a lot of them on Hall of Fame. Probably one of the most complete players you can choose. So I'm going to tell you guys, that's who I'm choosing. For me, at least, I'm choosing Cedi Osman. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think he is probably the most complete player. Myles Turner has power forward eligibility, really solid guy that can stretch it forward. But for me, Cedi Osman is the most complete. Southeast Division up next. Here are your options. Wes Unseld, Dell Curry, Udonis Haslem, DeAndre Hunter, and Marcin Gortat. Now, Gortat would be good, but he has that slow release that is just not good. Udonis Haslem would be good, but he doesn't have a good enough 3-ball. So it's either Wes Unseld, Dell Curry, or DeAndre Hunter. Now, initially, at the start of the day, I would have said choose this card, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, but supposedly, DeAndre Hunter has a slow release. And if that's the case, again, use the diamond, see if his release is that slow. If it is that slow, and we've already got Cedi Osman, don't worry about it. There are better overall options. Wes Unseld, great power forward, but he's only 6'7". And is that really what we're looking for? I don't know, maybe. But Here's the guy I'm telling you guys that you guys should maybe look for at the point guard position. 6'5", good 3-ball, good dribble 6, good ball handle, solid enough defensively. I'm telling you guys right now, I think Dell Curry is the guy to go for. Hall of Fame quick first step, Hall of Fame limitless range. I'm thinking more and more about Dell Curry compared to DeAndre Hunter, and I think I might like Dell Curry that little bit more. Again, try the diamonds out, see what you like, but I'm thinking Dell Curry is the option. Northwest Division up next, Rudy Gobert, Jamal Murray, Carlos Boozer, Lamarcus Aldridge, and Dennis Johnson. To me, this is a two-horse race between Carlos Boozer and Dennis Johnson. You might make the case for Lamarcus Aldridge. I think he's fine, right? But when I look at Lamarcus Aldridge here, I just think there are better overall options here in my team. Like, look at him. 6'11", good 3-ball. Ball handle's not great. Speed's not great. He's only got one Hall of Fame defensive badge. And I just think the card's missing too much. This card right here, though, 6'4", decent 3-ball, decent driving dunk. But look at the defense on him. 95 speed, 97 lateral quickness. Tendency-wise for Dennis Johnson, you might be wondering, decent enough across the board. 10 Hall of Famers, 31 on gold, quick first step, clamp breaker duo with great defensive badges. Dennis Johnson, absolutely incredible. The other guy, again, that we were talking about is Carlos Boozer. The reason I like him is because he's got that Vanderbilt base. He's 6'9", gonna play great defense. It's really between Carlos Boozer and Dennis Johnson. I'd probably choose Dennis Johnson, but again, I think it is really close, and I don't think you can go wrong either way right there. For the Pacific Division, you got Tyreke Evans, Chris Mullin, Dan Majerle. You got Michael, the center, who is incredible, and Cedric. This is probably the most complete division out of all of them. I don't think there's a wrong option with any of these guys. Now, let's talk about it here and why I don't think there's a wrong option. Dan Majerle. Talk about complete shooting guards. He's up there. Catch and shoot. He's got amped. He's got corner specialist, limitless, slippery off-ball, anchored, challenger, chase the artist, interceptor, and off-ball pest. Now, for me, the reason I don't think I'm going to love Dan Majerle so much, again, try out the diamonds, but it's because of his release. I don't think his release is that next level good. It's that Dario Saric base, which, again, I just don't think is that great. Cedric up next, 6'6". More of that attacking the rim pink diamond, right? Compared to that guy in Dan Majerle. Might not be as good a defender, but really solid overall card. If you choose Cedric, there's nothing wrong with it. Tyreke Evans, point guard eligibility, 6'6". Again, probably the guy I'd choose. Okay, you don't want 3 point guards, so really, pick and choose between Dennis Johnson, Dell Curry, Tyreke Evans, pick and choose. But I really do love Tyreke Evans. And then you got Michael up last. Okay, don't sleep on this card. 7 feet tall, really solid defense, so he can play power forward. Don't sleep on him at all. He can get the job done. And then Chris Mullin, 6'7", great 3-ball, can move and groove. I'm honestly maybe leaning even Chris Mullin, right? I think as far as shooting guards are concerned, he's going to be one of the best. So I'd probably lean Chris Mullin or Tyreke Evans for that division. But again, that really is up to you. And last but certainly not least, this is the division I've got done. Matt Bonner, Dillon Brooks, Dorain Finney Smith, Trevor Ariza, and Kenny Smith. So you guys might be asking, okay, Ty, how are you going to decide who you are going to choose? And to me, it's pretty simple, right? Put them all in a lineup and see what the cards do for you. Okay, I think that is the best way to go about doing this thing, and kind of the only way about going about doing this thing. I think I'm missing one last player. Let's see who it is, because this is how you're really going to decide who you personally are going to like and who you're personally going to enjoy using. Now, I've already used the Diamond Matt Bonner, not necessarily the biggest fan of him, but let's hop into freestyle as I go through these last 5 players that I personally do have. Now, let's start off with Matt Bonner here. Dribble 6 here, okay, not great. Release, ugly. Not choosing him. Because why would you use Matt Bonner? It's because he's a great, stretch big option. But with this release, you couldn't pay me to lock in for that card. Dillon Brooks up next. Honestly, guys, for Dillon Brooks, his defense is going to be elite. It's what is his release like? He's got the normal leaner, okay. And we know his defense is incredible. So his release, honestly, to me, it's not the smoothest, but it's not bad, okay. And even movement, I get you guys might not love his dribbling, but it's not bad. I actually like Dillon Brooks quite a bit and could see myself using him for quite some time. It's that simple. He's a different kind of fun card to use, but I could see myself using him for quite some time. Kenny the Jet Smith, his player build is horrible. Let's just start with that. Okay, his player build's horrible. Release is kind of crazy. No. Simple. No. It's pretty self-explanatory. No, I'm not using him. Trevor Ariza next. One of the guys I was highest on coming into today. As far as his release, it's pretty smooth. It really is for Trevor Ariza. It is pretty smooth. You don't have to love it, but it is pretty smooth for Trevor Ariza. We know defensively he's one of the more complete cards. And honestly, it might have to be a Trevor Ariza versus Dillon Brooks comparison. I just hate to say it. I think Trevor Ariza is going to win that battle because I do not mind his release at all. Dorain Finney Smith last, but certainly not least. Okay. This is not the release I remember out of UDFS, right? I'm thinking about last year and the release he had. It's not the same, but it's easy to green. I don't necessarily hate it, but I'll still take Trevor Ariza or Dillon Brooks over him. And so for me, it's really Trevor Ariza, Dillon Brooks. I'm probably going to lean Trevor Ariza, but again, that is my personal opinion. Use the cards you want to use. Lock in the cards you want to lock in for. Again, between Dillon Brooks, between Trevor Ariza, I don't think there's a bad option. And that's ultimately what you're wanting, right? Not a bad option. Trevor Ariza, 42 base badges. Dillon Brooks, 42 base badges. It really is personal preference. I'd probably choose Trevor Ariza. So that is going to wrap it up for me and who I personally would pick as far as the spotlights are concerned, guys, in the pink diamond option packs. Let me know who you guys chose down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.